I'm inside Chocos, Larry. No fatalities.
You can't win them all.
2, 1. Target in sight.
He's back. I'm not done with it, y'all. I'm not done with it whatsoever, okay? Because it was still good. I still get shorts on my YouTube that remind me of how awesome it was. And I think y'all too, if you saw the movie, you can agree with me that Nicholas Holt's portrayal of Lex Luthor has been the best since, well, we'll get into that later. It's been 9 years, guys. 9 years since the last cinematic return of the villain known as
Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time.
Lex Luthor. Okay, prior to the 2025 James Gunn Superman, it was in 2016 that we witnessed Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor in a role that, from his words, said ruined his career. So the Zack Snyder's Superman, Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder, that whole thing was not welcomed well with audiences whatsoever, to the point where it ruined Jesse Eisenberg's career. It didn't really sit well with audiences. He lacked charisma and villainy. Replaced all that with a tech mogul who was timid, who was a little weird, and had some mad scientist vibes.
The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming.
And not to mention that the movies didn't sit well with audiences also. Dawn of Justice. It's been 9 years for us to get that nasty taste out of our mouths when it comes to Lex Luthor and that character, and ready our palate for something a little bit more fresh, a little bit more whimsical and chaotic, and at the same time charismatic. And what I'm trying to get is the Lex that we got has solved the problem. James Gunn and Nicholas Hoult have crafted the perfect criminal mastermind within a masterpiece. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Lex in the Superman movie.
Nobody asked you, bold boy.
Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers for Superman. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, but this is your spoiler warning. Long gone are the days of selling and securing real estate or being a bumbling buffoon. Now we are introduced to a more calm, cool, obsessive genius, okay? One that's been studying this alien since he landed.
It's like he knows Superman's every move before he makes it.
He does. He's been studying him for years.
Gone above and beyond with trying to basically, in his eyes, protect the world from this alien that has come and somehow been able to swoon this whole world into loving him and to thinking that he's not there to be a menace. But Lex has a different idea, because Lex he wants to be Superman. He's always wanted to be that type of man to protect the world. And now you have this buffoon, as in his words, this clown in a silly suit, who is now taking over the attentions of all these people when he's not even human. It's great that we've gotten a little bit more of a depth and a little bit more of a character in this portrayal of Lex Luthor. Nicholas Hoult gives a captivating performance as the Man of Steel's arch nemesis, which we haven't seen in quite some time. It's funny too, because he went for the Superman role and wound up getting Lex Luthor. And this is the third time that I've heard that this happened, because Tom Hiddleston went out for the role as Thor and ended up becoming fan favorite Loki. And then you had Cillian Murphy, who went out for the role as Batman for the Christopher Nolan series and ended up being the first on-screen cinematic portrayal of Scarecrow. So, he ushered in a whole new generation, a whole new era of Batman with Batman Begins. And now the Luthor problem, nobody asked me, but the Luthor problem has now been solved in the cinematic universe. In previous on-screen adaptations, we never get the sense of evil, right, coming from the character. Yes, I mean, perhaps maybe the little bit of insanity is achieved, the distaste for the Man of Steel. But what James Gunn and Nicholas Hoult bring is all that and more. New elements expanding this character's genius beyond what we've come to see. A wickedness, and at the same time, you are shown the depths of his intellect, the depths of his genius in a science fiction kind of fashion. I love that too. Like it's more of a science fiction movie, more fantasy than it is like a superhero movie. That's what makes it such a great movie. It's not just a superhero movie. It's science fiction, it's fantasy, it's all these different elements thrown together that make it a great film. And Gunn allows us to surrender to this new world, this new world that he's created, with Lex being that main component of the science, of the weird, of the almost alien-esque type that he brings. I mean, like, Superman is far more human than Lex, who has like these pocket universes where he has hundreds of people trapped in this prison and genetically engineered blogging monkeys
Trashing you online.
Hashtag super shit.
All this is a little bit more alien than even Superman, and the presence of a kaiju. That this is definitely a universe that audiences aren't used to unless you've read the comics, and it's something that we love. Well, I love it. It's something that we can accept. It's different to a degree. I mean, because we've been in superhero movies before, we've seen superhero movies before, but there's something different with this one in the sense that it does bring other elements of genres to the film that increase it even more. At some point, though, nobody asked me, but I feel like at some point we got tired of Lex. You almost got tired of seeing him. You almost got tired of seeing him because he's the main antagonist with every Superman film, okay? He's been used since the late 70s with Gene Hackman, again, wanting land. Well, that's where it started. He was very comical and charismatic, and each one was less interesting because then you have Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor, which was, great cast as Kevin Spacey being Lex Luthor. But again, you have him land lusting. He's building real estate on a Kryptonian landscape that doesn't even look appealing to me. I wouldn't buy land there. I don't know anybody who would buy land on that thing. We do know that there's hope. We do know that there's hope because there's always been a chance to bring a compelling cinematic version to the big screen. Holt's charisma is solid to the last scene, man. I mean, his transformation from rage to jealousy to almost heartbreak when everyone has just turned on him because of the fact that he has been dealing with foreign leaders. There's a moment when the camera is panning on him and he's crying, and you can feel this rage and this jealousy as he looks at Superman, but at the same time it's almost a heartbreak, and he is non-verbally saying like, this is not over. It's such a great scene, and there's no words in it whatsoever. It's just him going through these emotions, and it's great viewing of a villain non-verbally telling the hero, dude, now you've done it. It was fun watching him beat the hell out of Superman vicariously through Ultraman also, which brings me to the point of how Gunn was able to not only bring one villain, nor two, but three villains in the movie. Superman not only battles the engineer, but he also battles Ultraman through Lex, which is, I think, very smart. It shows another level of Lex's intelligence, how he was able to clone Superman. It's like, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I cloned you. It didn't take me long. Whatever, dude. Simple science to a genius to clone Superman and then use him against him as if it's him. And I think that's just dope, man. I think that's really cool. At one point, I was saying 1A, 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 1A. Because it was just like, damn, like he's finally getting his licks in that he's always wanted to, because he can't really do it in real life, but he can do it through Ultraman because of the hatred and the passion emanating from Nicholas Hoult as Lex, portraying this. It's downright enjoyable, man. You enjoy watching him on screen. Every moment he's on screen, he commands it. Great performance, I feel like, from everyone. But when it comes to Nicholas Hoult portraying Lex, giving us a Lex that we can follow, we understand where he's coming from. It's great. Now, a couple of days ago, Gunn announced on his Twitter that they already had begun production on the sequel to Superman, Man of Tomorrow, with Lex in his famous robotic suit with Superman leaning on him in like a friendly fashion. Is it a possible team up? Perhaps. Who knows? Not sure. All I know is I'm excited to see the dynamics of these two again in a broader sense. Like, if they team up, who's gonna be the villain? I mean, everyone's pointing to Brainiac, but I feel like bringing Brainiac into the game is a little early. You know, we haven't really gone too deep into the meat and potatoes of this universe. You're gonna bring Brainiac in already? I think it's a little bit too early for the Kryptonian, was it cyborg? Nah, AI. Ooh, or maybe not. In this day and age, that might actually work to bring in Brainiac with all the AI going around, you know, manipulating people and giving us answers to questions. It could work. And with Gunn, I don't doubt it. You know, if you haven't watched Superman 2025 yet, I highly recommend it. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. My rant on the Luthor problem, now a solution that we have solved. And again, I'm excited to see where this story is going to go. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay in the loop when I have another rant coming your way. And nobody asked me, but I think you should watch Superman for Lex. I mean, like, each character in this movie has their own spotlights. And I think, again, coming from a past of just not really doing justice to the character, watching this movie for Lex Luthor at his peak of villainy, his peak of mastermindness and all that, I don't even know if that's a word, his peak when it comes to the live action portrayal on cinema, you gotta watch Superman, man. And I cannot wait. Hopefully it comes out on HBO Max, or if it's up for rent, then I'ma rent it. You know, $4.99 and all. It's expensive, man. Expensive. My name's Tarek Bryant. This is Nobody Asked But, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
Nobody asked you, bold boy.